What is up, Felix here, and for the past few days I've been recording some music with the Moog Muse, and let me tell you, it was not difficult to make it sound great. And I also recorded a quick live jam, and I'm going to walk you through my sound design process of how I ended up with that patch. And in the process I think you're going to get a pretty good idea of the basic functionality and layout of the Muse. So let's go. Alright, here we go with the Moog Muse, and what I'm going for is a CS80 Deckard's Dream type sound, because that's what I really love about polysynths. But before that, super quick overview: 2 oscillators, 2 LFOs, dedicated modulation oscillator, pitch LFO, assignable controls like key tracking and velocity, so I can just hold them and then touch any knob and map it to it. For example, velocity would obviously be something like filter envelope amount for expressivity, and then you already have it here mapped. Then this oscillator mixer section here: oscillator 1, ring mod, oscillator 2, mod oscillator, noise and distortion amount. And obviously filter envelope and VCA envelope. Here these old school type preset management knobs that are super vintage, but of course you have much more than 16 slots, it's just a neat optical touch. And then arpeggiator and sequencer. But now let's initialize the patch and start from scratch. So we're starting out here with this first oscillator, and as you can see I can shape the wave from a triangle to a sawtooth. And then I can mix it with a square wave with variable pulse width. So this is actually also exactly what I need for this Deckard's Dream CS80 type sound, because this is the exact selection pretty much of wave shapes that you're going to work with. So first of all, I'm going to try to get some movement by putting up the mod wheel here and starting to map some modulations here, like pulse width to oscillator 1. Already some movement here, Now let's do the same thing for oscillator 2 and activate key tracking, because then the frequency is going to be different depending on the height of the note. And that's so beautiful about the aesthetic of polysynths, because every note is its own voice and it has its own modulation and filter envelope, etc. And it's especially beautiful once you start the pan spread here, where every voice gets its own place in the stereo field. And then let's do the same thing here for the second wave. And detune it a bit. And then for the detuning again, because it's relative to the frequency of the oscillators, the lower notes are gonna have a slower pulsing effect than the higher notes. So here again, every note is gonna do something a bit different. Now let's take care of the filter here, add some envelope to it, to shape it like a pad sound. And add some key tracking to the filter as well. So the higher notes are gonna have a more open filter than the lower notes. And as you can see, we have two filters here and we could use them in series as they are now. So it's first going through one and then through two. Or we could use it stereo. So this filter is for the left side and this is for the right side. Or we could have them in parallel. This could be interesting, for example, to have a different envelope amount here and a bit of resonance on the second one. And now it just adds an additional characteristic to the sound, because it's now more complex than it was it just going through one filter. But for my purposes, I'm going to have them in series. And I'm pretty much just going to work with the first. Now I'm going to add a little bit of pan spread. Now I'm going to add this beautiful delay. And as indicated by the knob here, I have to activate it per timbre. As you can see, it's a bi-timbre synth. So right now I'm editing timbre 1. And I could just hit B and now, bam, everything's open again. I'm at initial again. I could create a whole new additional sound. And I could either split them, so one sound is here and the other one is here. Or I could stack them, so they're both playing at the same time. But for now, I'm just going to work with one timbre. Because then obviously also you have to share the voices between them. Yeah, so not both timbres are not going to be 8 voices, but just 4 then. It's already lovely. Let's listen to the delay on its own. Gives a beautiful touch, especially in combination with the pan spread. And now let's add some reverb and RC20 in Ableton. And let's assign the velocity sensitivity to the envelope amount of the filter. And now it's going to be velocity sensitive, so if I press it harder, the filter is going to open up more. So now I have this expressive control here. Also overload, really beautiful, which basically distorts everything a bit. but a bit too much for my taste. Just a subtle touch here. Yeah, really beautiful already. And now I could of course also change the envelope to have it be a more plucky sound. Lovely. And one last thing, maybe I could add a bit of pitch modulation as well, but only to one of the oscillators. But also very subtle. And this would make the sound more fluttery and wobbly even. Alright, I guess that's it from my side for today. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'm gonna try and get back to you ASAP. And apart from that, thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Peace out.